Thank you all so much for hanging with me. I know we had a few jump arounds, but I guess that's what I get for trying some new webinar software. So thanks for still hopping on, getting over here on Zoom. Sometimes you just got to keep it simple and trust what works. So I am glad to chat with you run coaches today. We are going to start diving into what it looks like to start a running business. And this is something I've been really excited about all week. We have been having a ton of engagement from you on getting started and asking questions, and we are going to just give you the full load when we come in here. Just make sure when you come in, you mute your audio. Perfect. So we're going to go all in. I've got tons of information to share with you, and I definitely want this to be interactive. Anytime you have a question, definitely let me know in that comments box, and we will keep you engaged and learning. So you guys all can see my screen okay? Perfect. All right. Well, my first question for you is, which one of these runners do you sound like? Are these runners or run coaches? Some of you guys may be high school coaches. I've been working with a few high school coaches lately, and though you love your high school coaching job, let's be real, you can't make a career out of that. Making a $2,000 stipend a year, it's a lot of work for a little return, and though we love working with those kids and college athletes, we do need something that's scalable and that's going to make sense for our family. So we're definitely going to dive into that. So if that sounds like you, that high school coach, I would love it in the comments if you'd share a 1. Maybe you're this number 2 person. You are an online health coach right now, or you're an in-person health coach or trainer, and you want to expand your business to add some type of running services. If that's you, I would love to see a 2 in the comments. Maybe you're number 3, and this is you getting started for the very first time. Love it. I see those 2s. I love that we're going in-person, online, or we're health coach going run coach. Awesome. Maybe we want to start our business for the first time. I'm working with a girl right now who's literally starting from scratch. It is so awesome just getting her started, getting her business off the ground. So if this is you starting for the first time, give me a 3 in the comments. If I did not cover who you are, I would love if you'd give me a 4 or let me know I'm something different. You know, maybe there's something I didn't cover here. And I would love to make sure you're taken care of. Perfect. I love that we have those 2s. Starting business for the first time, Rachel, love it. Christine and Bridget are 2s, love it. Love the engagement, friends. I do want to remind you guys to stick with it till the end. I have some really great stuff for you guys, and before I forget, I want to copy and paste this workbook for you. I think you all received it in your emails a couple of times, but I want to make sure you got it so you can really engage and make sure you are fully in on this training and you can follow along. And I made it fillable for all of you guys who like to keep all your documents online. You can type right on that document. So hopefully you'll all love that. And there's going to be some special fun stuff at the end. So definitely make sure you stay engaged and stay listening and stay till the end, because you are going to be really excited to see what we have at the end. Okay, so one of my favorite parts about working with run coaches, and why I exclusively work with run coaches, is they have these amazing running stories. I would love it if you would say in the comments the person who started attracting you to the sport of running. Was it a spouse, maybe a coach in high school, your parents, your siblings? Would love to know for you, who really pushed you into the sport of running? Your husband, that's so awesome. For me, it was the brand new high school cross country coach. So our cross country team was terrible. We had 2 runners and they were going to shut the program down. And this random person comes in and says, I want to take over. Give me 1 year. Give me 1 shot to make something out of this. And he started going around to the volleyball players, the basketball players, and the track athletes, which was me at the time, and recruiting people for his team. So I was at long jump practice. I was, doing my steps and whatnot, and this random person walks up to me and he says, hello, my name is Tim Atkinson. I'm the new cross country coach, and I would love for you to be on my cross country team. I looked at him and started cracking up. Did anyone have a first time experience like that? Like the first time someone you told you to run, you just started cracking up. Like, me? Are you serious? I had never run more than a mile in my life. Better yet, in middle school track, when I was forced to run the 1200, I cried the entire time. So I was not a runner. I ran down the long jump pit. That's it. Occasionally I did the 400 and the 4x4, but that's about as far as I went. So this guy was asking a lot out of me, but he started casting this vision of being able to run in college, being a collegiate athlete, having a team that loves each other and takes care of each other and having really great friends, which maybe some of you in high school maybe struggled with that friend group. I definitely did. He talked about regional championships, state championships, cross-country camp, being in the best shape of your life, how it would enhance my track performance. And I was like, well, I better give it a shot. And let me tell you what, I'm so glad I did. I showed up to practice that first day in June. We practiced all winter, and it paid off, my friends. This guy was a miracle worker. He took all these random people who had never run more than a mile in their life. In our first year, we were district, league, and we were 10th in the region. So that's pretty good for never running before. Year 2, so that was my junior year. Senior year, we made it to the state championships in both cross country and track. And in track, we made the podium for the 4x8. So this guy just totally turned this program around. I was able to then run in college, and I was just hooked on the sport. Literally from the time we started, I was coaching. I was helping out the middle school team, the elementary team. I could not believe the way the sport would transform me. And so I was hooked. But as you guys know, running's not always this beautiful, picture perfect, easy thing. It's hard. And there's struggles that come with it. And when I came into college, I was kind of on this high from high school. I came into college and I really started struggling. Maybe some of you guys have faced that struggle as well. For me, a lot of weird things happened. Though I was upping my mileage, I was gaining weight. In fact, from beginning of my senior year of high school till about middle of my freshman year of college, I gained 20 pounds. Now, granted, some of that was probably becoming a woman, but it just seemed so strange to me. Because of that, I was pushing myself harder and harder. I'd try to run with the top pack. I'd lift harder. And I was just pushing myself way too hard. I was putting so much stress on my body that I was giving myself sleep apnea. I literally, before workouts and before races, I could not sleep the night before. So I'd be exhausted and wouldn't perform well. Along with all of this going on and this uncomfortable kind of image I had with myself as a runner, I actually developed an eating disorder. One friend told me that I should go and start talking to a counselor, and I'm so glad she did, because she really helped me to work through some of these issues I was struggling with. And though through college I was able to kind of have the support of really great friends, like I had the best friends ever. I went to this amazing school called Cedarville University, a great Christian school. I had amazing teammates, and though I had all this support, I was just internally struggling. And then, it did get better through college. I can't say it totally healed, but it did progress. But it's still something I struggled with till about 8 months ago. So it was tough on me. And maybe some of you have had similar experiences as well with your running. Also, for any of you who maybe come out of high school running or college running or some kind of teen atmosphere, and then you get married and move away or start a new job, you kind of lose your support network. And I remember even though I had my husband, who is also a runner, he's a very competitive runner to this day, I felt alone with my running. I didn't have that same camaraderie that I got to have every single day. So I really struggled a lot, especially after college, with my running and my confidence and whatnot. So I did some searching, and eventually there is some happiness in the story. I did find a solution. That first step for me was joining Team Inspire, which I think some of you actually on here are on that team. They are a team of Beachbody coaches, but for me, that was just the first step. I originally joined that because I had a passion to become a health coach. I was pregnant at the time, and I knew I wanted to be home with my daughter, so I was looking for a way to start a business from home, and this seemed to be a perfect fit for me because it was able to use my passion for teaching, which I was at the time, combined with my passion for helping people get healthy. And it just seemed like a great fit. And though I thought I was going to go out and start changing the world, this program started changing me. I had that team again. I mean, we crave that team accountability, encouragement. And it was huge for me. It brought my confidence up. It got me back into strength training. It helped me get into a more steady weight, which is part of the weight I was before college. I dropped, I think, 15 pounds, which was awesome. I just felt more confident in myself, and which was then able to help me better help other people. As I started doing this more and more and more, just more focused on the Beachbody side, I realized I needed to incorporate running. That was my heartbeat. And I kind of had this time of being nurtured and learning and growing. And then it was time for me to kind of take this to the next level and not just be partnered with an MLM, but actually really start a business on my own. And that's when I knew I needed to start the run coaching business, and eventually did invest in a coach, which I'll share a little bit about here soon. So Coach Jasmine was created. Some of the visions it has was teaching runners to train smarter, not harder, which was very much what I saw commonly with college runners. They were always pushing themselves so hard, but they wouldn't reach those PRs. So I really wanted to focus on running your proper paces, using food as a fuel source, not comfort. So knowing what things your body needs at certain times, when it's good to get really good protein, when it's good to make sure you refuel on carbs. So that timing nutrition piece. And since I was still partnered with this MLM, I was able to provide Shakeology for my running clients, which I was 100% behind. It's the best protein powder I found in the market. So I was able to then still provide this for my runners, which I was really excited about. It was really fun getting started, but it wasn't until I invested in that coach that things really started to change for me, that these passions really started falling into place. And I'll share a little bit more about that later. But these are just a few of the athletes I've gotten to work with over the course of this past year since the business started. It's literally been about a year now. It's so crazy just to see how much things can change in a year. And so that's what I want to encourage you guys to know is that a brick and mortar business can take 2 years to really get off the ground, putting yourself $200,000 in debt. But man, we live in an amazing time right now. We can literally, with a cell phone, start a business. That's how I started. I didn't have a fancy computer or anything until I was able to invest in that more heavily. But it all started right here, which I'm sure all of you guys have one of these. It's amazing what you can do with the technology we have, the people you can interact with. All of these ladies here, none of them are local to me. They are in Texas, Arizona, Ohio. And it's just amazing what can happen when you are just given the right skills and the right strategies to do this thing the right way, which is what I'm hoping to give you guys today. So this is what we're going to cover today. We're going to walk through step by step how you can start a business that makes money, because that's what you guys want, right? Not that we're money hungry, but if we want to be able to pursue this full time, it does have to bring in profits. So that way we can leave our full-time jobs if that's what we choose. And we can better support our families. We can give more freely and just enjoy life a little bit better. We're also going to kind of within that talk about how you can start monetizing your running blog, especially when we get into like the sales funnel pieces. That's not required, but I know a lot of you on here do have blogs started. So I want you to know that that does give you a distinct advantage if you already have some followers and whatnot on your blog. We are going to talk about the 3 biggest mistakes I made in my first year and how these things left me at times feeling very burnout and almost bailing out. And at times at the beginning, a little bit broke at the beginning. It got better, but that's because I figured things out a little bit. Hopefully you guys also have that workbook and know that at any time you can ask me questions. I have the chat feature pulled up right in front of me so you guys can ask at any time. So let's dive in. Make sure your workbooks are ready, and we are going to get started. I do have a link I'm going to share with you in the comments that's going to pertain to step 1 for you starting a business. It's not that sexy, awesome stuff that we are going to get started with, but it's the most important. There are some legal things you have to have when you get started. Most people think that, I need a running certification when I get started. Technically you don't, which is kind of weird, but you don't. Your running experience can serve you enough to help people. Do I recommend a running certification? Absolutely, but not until you have a viable business and you can prove that it's worth it. So here's kind of the level of things I have in order of what's best, though the running certification should probably be a little higher, maybe that 3rd step. But really, you just need to make sure you're protecting yourself. The first thing you can do is create a waiver and liability form, which in that link, I showed you a link to where a really good template is. That's technically all you need. It's just something to protect yourself. I mean, technically you don't even need that, but if you're smart and wise, you want that because you don't want to get sued. That's really what it comes down to. Now, I've honestly never faced someone trying to sue me yet. Doesn't mean it couldn't not happen in the future. But this is just a way to make sure you're protected. And that waiver that I linked to in the blog is a really good way to cover your bases. And though that's technically not required, I strongly recommend that that's what you do. At least have a waiver in place. Next step would be run coach insurance. I want you to think of all these as kind of like a target. So that middle most important is having a waiver. The second is that run coach insurance. I'm not going to say it's technically required, but it's another layer of protection. Third is going to be an LLC, which is actually like a business, an official registered business. And basically means that if someone did try to sue you, they could only sue your business. They couldn't take your house or your car or your kid's college fund or anything like that. So it does add up. If you're getting started, it maybe isn't necessarily necessary right away, but it's something to be saving up for and considering. So we want to start with free waivers. You just create those on your own, have your clients sign them. Good question from Jess. She says, how do you get Run Coach insurance? If you click that link, I do link to one place you can go to. K&K offers it if your running certification doesn't. So the one benefit to getting a run certification right away is that often the run certification has some type of insurance that they recommend or link to. So for example, if you're a USATF coach, they have USATF Run Coach insurance. If you are Roadrunners Club of America, they have Roadrunners Club insurance. But for me, I went the VDOT way by Jack Daniels, which is what I recommend. It's the cheapest. You can do it online. And to me, I think it's the best personally. I'm not like an affiliate with them. That's personally just what I think. And it's nice to just be able to do it online. I went through K&K, which you'll see that link on the blog. So all the links are on there for you. Again, technically none of this is required. This is all just to protect you, but I want you to be protected. So definitely make sure you take care of that stuff. I would, if you even want to start really simple, just doing the waivers, getting and working with people you trust first, make some money and prove that you can actually do something with this business, and then pay for the Run Cert and Run and Coach insurance. Make a little more money, and maybe 6 months down the road, then register as an official LLC. Again, these are just protections to make sure that you are safe. Awesome. One more question from Jess. Can anyone coach? Could you maybe type that question for me one more time? I just want to make sure I answer everything that you have. I want to make sure I'm engaging with you all, but I'm not quite sure I understand the second question that you said there. But definitely type it in and I'll go back to that. Second thing we're going to have you guys do is to create your own Facebook community and your own like page. Now, these are fun things, right? They're free. The waiver is free. The run coaching is free. So you can really start super low cost. Why would I say, why a like page? I know you all see that like pages don't get a lot of engagement because eventually you're going to be running Facebook ads. So the sooner you get that thing started and the sooner you get people engaged on it, the better. But friends, one thing you need to know right now that Facebook is doing in our favor is they are favoring these online group communities. As you know, the market changes a lot. A year ago, I would have told you to start an Instagram and to start following and doing the 20-20-20 strategy where you follow 20 people a day, you like 20 pictures a day, you comment on 20 pictures, but that's not what's working anymore. This is a lot simpler way for you to get started. Literally create a Facebook community. This is an example of one I just created. I've had other ones in the past, but as my niches have changed, this is the one I have right now. So this is a exclusive community only for run coaches. And I think most of you are in it, but just to be safe, if any of you aren't in it, I want you to join. It's totally free. I do trainings on there every day. It's a place for you to ask questions about insurance, about getting started. If you want feedback on a lead magnet or a blog post, more than welcome to join there. But here's why these Facebook communities are awesome. As soon as people choose to engage, they like a post, they comment and post, they've engaged in the group, they automatically get a notification that you posted in the group. Now think, if you post on your private page or your Facebook like page, does someone get a personal notification that Brandy posted on her page? No, but if Brandy posts in her private Facebook group, everyone gets a notification so they know it's there. And an amazing thing too, even when you go live, they get a notification that you're going live in your group. And often these live videos are pushed up in the news feed. Normally I see live videos come up on my third scroll. It's normally a family member post, a sponsored post, and then I see a live video. So that's definitely good visibility for you as you're getting started. Free, easy. And let me tell you what, these Facebook groups convert. Every single client I've ever had has come from a Facebook group. I kid you not. Maybe they found me on Instagram, joined Instagram, and then joined one of my free groups, and then joined with me a client. So these things work. I promise you. Now, again, I'm going to stress it so much more. The biggest mistake you can make is by not making a Facebook community. I remember, I don't think I started my first Facebook community until maybe February or March of this year. And I started my business back in September, October area. And that was just too long. I'm sure some of you guys are right now part of communities like Screw the 9 to 5. And there's just these massive communities with 20,000 people. That is so many leads for that person who started that community. So Facebook has been favoring this for a while, and we don't know how much longer Facebook is going to favor this strategy. But all I can say is literally as soon as you get off this webinar, start a Facebook community. You might have a hesitation of, what if people don't engage? What if I am not good at this? Start the community, and every post that you'd normally put on your public page or your Instagram, just put it inside this Facebook community. Give it a try for a month, and if it really isn't going well, I give you full permission to shut it down. But trust me, friend, it's going to go awesome. One way to do it is to also do some time of market it as a free 5-day group. So sometimes I've done free 5-day run academies where I talk about running for 5 days. And if the group is feeling really engaged and energetic, then I will transition and say, hey guys, this group went so awesome that I'm going to leave this open as a Facebook group. I'm going to post in here every day, some of my runs, and feel free to share yours, et cetera, et cetera. So please, friend, if you're planning to be a successful run coach and you're like, how do I find clients? Start a free Facebook community. You can message these clients, get to know them. When they get to see you and interact with you more personally, they are much more likely to convert into your programs. Like I said, every single client I've gotten has been in a Facebook community of mine. So after you have this Facebook community, you're going to drive this community to your different profiles. It's been proven that the more people connect with you, the more likely they are to convert. So as soon as they get in your Facebook community, I have this example. This is the description on my Facebook community page. I have a free gift for them. I'll show you that link here so you can see an example of what I do to attract people onto my list, which is what we're talking about next. But I give them this free video series. It's 4 steps to having your first 5K month as a run coach. Different content than this. So if you haven't looked at that, you definitely want to check it out. But this is a way for them to connect with me further. This gets them on my email list and lets me interact with them more in multiple places. Also putting your social links, your Instagram profile, your Facebook profile page, things like that. So they know where they can connect with you. And, having group rules, kind of talking a little bit about who you are is a great way for them to get to know you a little bit better. After we've created this Facebook community, we're going to build that list of highly qualified leads with a lead magnet or ESO. I just threw a ton of dorky words at you, but basically what that means is we're going to give these people something free, which is a lead magnet or ESO. Same thing, lead magnet, early stage offer, they're the same thing. It's basically you make something free and you say, I'm going to give this to you for free if you offer me your email address. This is a way for them to get to know you and have a free sample of who you are, get a free test into your coaching style to kind of prove your credibility so they can see, oh, she actually knows what she's talking about. And then you can then use this to nurture them later on. So let me give you an example of one that I did in the past for my runners that went really, really well. Doesn't have to be anything super complicated. One that I did was a free core exercises for runners. So this core routine was 5 minutes long, 10 exercises, 30 seconds each. Really simple. I honestly took my iPhone, I propped it up on my couch, I think, maybe on my kitchen table, that's what it was. And I filmed it, one cut. I trimmed, the beginning and end, I think I trimmed a couple things in the middle, uploaded it to YouTube, put it on a page on my website, and that was it. Took me probably a day. Real simple. So it doesn't have to be anything super complicated, but could be an old blog post that you have for some of you who are bloggers who've maybe shared really good tips before, and you can put it in a pretty PDF downloadable. You can do a free 5-day group that eventually leads into your Facebook community. And a lot of my bloggers just take content that they've used from past blogs and share a blog post every day. Very, very valuable for your people. But here's one that worked really well for me. Runners love more strength routines. They love being able to watch you do something, getting a demonstration. We like to move, so giving them something where they can move is great. Another great thing about doing a video demo is that you're actually acting as their coach. So that when they get to see a video of you, they kind of feel a little more connected with you. So this is a really great way to get people engaged. This has been a really phenomenal one, and still people say this is my favorite video I've ever done. So, when I create this, I drive them to a landing page. You can bootleg it and just say, leave your email in a Facebook thread and I'll send it to you, via Google or MailChimp. I like to automate things a little bit. So I send them to a cover page on my website where they put their email in on their own, which I'm sure you've all done before. And then it automatically adds them to my list. You can do that for free using MailChimp. You can automate it a little bit more with upgraded MailChimp or ActiveCampaign, which I'll talk about a little bit more. Now, we're going to talk about some mistakes I made. Here's mistake number 2. I waited too long to start building my email list. So again, business started in September, October. I didn't start building my list until February. I lost a good 5 months of list building. And here's why this is so huge. I wonder if any of you who have been in the online space a while, does anyone know what was happening during that time? Someone, a big monopolized social media platform, was buying another monopolized platform. And that platform was Instagram. During that time, Facebook acquired Instagram because they're loaded and they can do what they want, right? It was a smart buy on their time. But since they have purchased Instagram, Instagram has definitely taken a turn for particularly business owners. We have much less engagement, much less comments, much less leads. I used to be able to post a lead generator and say, leave your email below, and I'd easily get 5 emails. Now I get maybe 1. So the reason I'm telling you this is the reason why a list is so important is not because it's the best platform. I truly think right now Facebook groups are the best way to get clients. But Facebook might change the game on us. They might say, you know what? I'm not going to let you guys have notifications of Facebook groups anymore. I'm not even going to let you post on your personal page anymore. I'm going to put you in a Facebook jail if you do that. So this email list is kind of like a safety blanket for us. So it's a place that we can see all of our leads in one spot. And let's say one day Instagram kind of takes a turn up. We then say, okay, friends, I want you all to follow me on Instagram. We have all of our people and we can tell them where to go, which is the best place for them to be based on where you're going to get the most engagement with them. So that's why that list building is so important. Even if it starts slow, if the rules change on Facebook, I'm sure a year from now, Facebook groups are probably going to look a lot different. And maybe we'll be back on Instagram, we'll be on Periscope, maybe we'll be on Twitter. But we need to have our people in one place that we own. Like, your email list is the only thing you own and control. No one can change the rules on your email list. So we need to make sure we have them and that we can lead them where they need to go. So now let's talk about promoting this freebie. There's definitely tons of places you can promote it. Here I have an example of a Facebook post I did 19 weeks ago, sharing about this, did some hashtags. As you can see, I got some people interested in that. I definitely recommend Facebook or Instagram posts organically. You definitely don't feel like you always have to pay for leads. Find them free. A really great strategy right now is getting on live Facebook video, either on your personal page, like page, or in your private group, and ending with a call to action to opt into your freemium. People right now are loving live video. It's getting pushed up in our newsfeed, so this is a good thing. So let's take advantage of it. Get on live video. I can't promise you the first time you get on, like, you're going to feel confident and awesome. I got on live video a year ago, and man, if I go back and watch my videos from a year ago, I look like a totally different person. But practice makes perfect. Get on, have a nice outline of what you want to talk about. Keep it short and simple, 5 to 7 minutes. Commit to getting on every day, and you'll really notice yourself change. The nice thing about most of us run coaches is we're pretty comfortable around people overall. We're naturally a little more charismatic, and we're pretty knowledgeable on our sport. Even for those of you who say, well, I'm not actually a run coach. Well, you've been running. You know more about it than someone who hasn't run. So definitely take your expertise seriously and think about how you can get on, share value, and drive people to your free group, to your free exercises, and build your list in that way. So we are going to then, after we've gotten these people on our list, they're seeing us in a Facebook group. They're going to see us in a couple places. We're holding everyone in our email list. We're going to implement this secret habit after they opt in. Now, it's not super secret. It's kind of obvious, but it's just a really important reminder as we get them to opt in, is that we have to get to know them. We are going to outreach and follow up with them. How many times do you think? Like 1 time, 2 times, 7 to 10 times we're going to follow up with these people, which might sound crazy, but only about 20% of people are going to open your emails. So know that the more follow-up you do, the better. Now, it doesn't mean we're in their inbox saying the same thing every day. We're doing a really, really good job of sharing value with them. And I'm going to share that with you here in just a second. You'll see that on your workbook as well. Really important, those first couple emails, to get really personal and, say things like, hey, Bridget, I'm so glad that you opted in. Do you have any questions about your free thing? Blah, blah, blah. Really getting it personal in your emails and showing them your character. Now, I'm sure some of you are looking at me like, Jasmine, I don't have time to send personal emails. I get enough emails as it is. This is where automation is huge. So MailChimp automation, $10 a month, ActiveCampaign automation, $9 a month, really affordable. You can literally pre-write these emails and they're automatically getting an email sent to them every day or every other day. Here's a really great structure that you can use to do yours. There's 7. You can do up to 10 depending on if you kind of spread out the content. So for example, if you're doing like a video series and you give video 1, 2, 3, 4, and then start implementing, email 3 to 7, totally fine. Want to then stress that third mistake, as I was talking to you about the mistakes I made when I was first getting started, is not being willing to invest in your business. Now, some of you might think like, well, I'm making no money. I don't know if I want to invest $10 in MailChimp. It's going to save you sanity. I don't work for MailChimp, so I don't have like an affiliate or anything like that. But I remember at the beginning when I was starting to get emails and people opting in, I had my assistant personally respond to every single person, or I did. And it took a lot of time. When I was able to automate this, into now I use ActiveCampaign. It has just been a game changer because now I can get that personal touch. I can still add their name. I really took a ton of time to write these really great emails. I had them copy edited. I wanted to make sure they were really good and really personal. I took a ton of time to make that video series, but then I was able to give everyone that same quality. Because I don't know, maybe, you're in your inbox one day and you're in a super bad mood and someone, sends you this, that you realize someone opted in. What if you're just like, I don't want to talk today. I'm not in the mood to talk. That is exactly why I did this automation, because it gives people that high quality energy that you put in every single time they opt in. So definitely don't be afraid to spend that $10 to save yourself some sanity and give people high quality content from the beginning. This is going to really be the thing that converts people from, just a lead to a customer, is getting on the phone with them, taking time to hear their voice and hear their struggles and actually see if you would be a good fit to work with them as a run coach. Now, I know sales calls can be a little bit uncomfortable, but there is just a basic structure that I follow with every call that makes a huge difference. Normally when I hop on, I take time to connect with them. I ask them how they're doing. I may ask about their kids or about their recent race, and just getting on the same page with them and letting them feel heard. The next most important thing that I do is I listen. I typically ask a question like, so, what have you been, or how did your last race go? Or, you had mentioned in your email that you're really struggling to get your pace down under 8 minutes. Tell me about that. Or what's been your biggest struggle with your running? Or what do you want to know more about marathon training? Just depends on what your program is and the questions you want to hear from them to see if they're a good fit. And then you sit back and listen. When I would first start sales calls, I would literally put my finger over my mouth because obviously, as you guys know, I like to talk. So it would be so easy for me to just take over the conversation. But when I would just ask that question and listen, often I would even take notes on my computer. I was fully engaged and I could actually hear, are they a good fit? Because this call isn't just about like, all right, I got to get another client on my list. I got to get more people. I got to make more money. It's, am I a good fit for them? And are they a good fit for me? So taking that time to listen is going to be what prevents you from getting sued, is going to be what keeps you sane, and what's going to be what energizes you in the future when you get to work with these clients. Calls are just as much for you as it is for them. They're figuring you out. They're seeing, is she really, the coach I want to work with? Is this a good fit for me? And I'll tell you what, these calls make all the difference. You can just see some of the coaches I've gotten to work with, like Lindsay. Our first call was awesome, and she is just killing it right now. She's getting her running business off the ground. Same thing with Jamie. She exploded this amazing new program as soon as she started working with me. She has gotten a ton of engagement. She started the Proverbs 31 Project, which is a program that includes runs and devotions and meal prep, strength training. It's amazing. So both of these girls implementing this strategy is huge. And when you implement the strategy, you get to work with your people, right? Like, here's some of the comments from one of my online groups I did a couple months ago, and just hearing all the things that these girls say about how they're winning and they're excited. Notice that all that work you put in up front paid off. You get to work with the right people who energize and excite you and who get the results that you'd hope they would feel. So for you particularly, as we go through all this, I know there's some reason why you showed up. I don't know exactly why you showed up today. Maybe you just are figuring out if you want to become a run coach yourself. Maybe you are just tired of constantly trying strategies over and over and over again that are failing. Maybe you want to network with other run coaches and you're trying to figure out how this business works. Well, I do want you to know that if this isn't enough for you to get started, if you're like, this is all great, Jasmine, but I really need more, then I want you to know that I have a really great program that we can do to get you started. This is things that Jamie and Lindsay, and you'll see a couple other girls here that I chatted with it, and it's the one-on-one coaching. So basically what this is me taking time every single week, really every single day, to help you grow your business off the ground. That's the one thing I love about one-on-one coaching is we get one-on-one. This is all about you and your needs. We go into your blueprint. We help you get consistent clients. We help you work the hours you want, to have flexibility, to leave your full-time job if that's what you desire. And ultimately just to create a simple, balanced life. We help you create a business that you love. We've seen many people, even myself at times, create these business monsters that we have too many clients, we're not getting paid our worth, and I am not about that in this program. We make sure we are designing a life and business that makes you excited. Here's a few sneak peeks into what you get when you join one-on-one coaching. You get a call, that first call, because I want to make sure that we are on the same page and you get exactly what you need from me. You get weekly curriculum structure. So, you get success mindset book, Facebook ad trainings, whatever it is that we think you need, I give to you. I make a beautiful workbook, kind of like the one you got, but a little longer and a little more business focused. We have shared documents that we go through your questions every single week so you can refer back and remember, what did we talk about? What were the action items? And just tons of support. You have unlimited email access to me. We talk on the phone every week, and it's all about you and your business. So you have every single thing you need to get started. Here's a little look into things that we talk about. Again, since it's one-on-one, it just depends on what you need. It's very much structured around you. But if you need clarity on how to even start a business, we talk about it. If you need the business structure, like the systems to put in place, we do that. If you need to take care of yourself first, we go into that. It's all about what exactly you need. So, why would you pick to work with a business coach like me over other coaches? The one thing that I love about my particular niche is I only work with run coaches. So I'm only helping people who want to start a running business. I want to really niche down and make sure I'm meeting your needs. I want you to have a successful business. I want you to feel like you're winning and your clients are winning, but I keep it very simple. It's all about exactly what you need. I'm not going to throw a ton of information at you for the sake of throwing information, but that's really going to help you structure to exactly what you need. Here's one of my amazing clients I'm working with right now. Her name is Kristen, and she is killing it. So if any of these girls you've seen, you should totally reach out to them and let them know. Ask them questions. Let them, see what they think about the program. Totally reach out to them. Now, since you're on live, and I know we're running out of time here, I want to offer you guys a really great deal. Typically, this 4-month program, so it's 4 months long of coaching, is $5,000, but I'm going to give you guys all $500 off today. You can also choose to do the 2-month package at $2,500, but today it's going to be $250 off. You're also going to get free run coaching. This is a huge help as you're getting started. I'm going to give you literally everything I know about run coaching and coach you myself so you know how to coach others. We're also going to have payment plans available and a free clarity call. So if this sounds like something you need, go to coachjasmine.com/contact. You can definitely check out the link. I'll paste it below. Do any of you have any questions? I know I kind of rushed through that a little bit, but I want to make sure you have everything you need as you're getting started. And again, if you want to email me after, you totally can with your questions. I am so thankful I got to chat with you all today. You were so fun. If you have questions, let me know. I'm going to send you a recording, and hopefully all this information was just what you need to get started, friends. Thank you so much for showing up, and I hope you have an awesome day. I will talk to you soon.